Hi guys. Well, it has been raining in Missouri every day almost, I think, or something, or it's just been bad. There were tornadoes in Kansas. I'm in Missouri, so Kansas and we're neighbors. Missouri and Kansas are neighbors. It was a humongous wedge tornado that was in Kansas. I think it was yesterday. Mother Nature has been just losing every bit of her mind. So I don't know what's going on, but it's crazy. There have been some things going on that have been happening for, I guess, the past several years, maybe longer. And it's not my cup of tea, but if that's what people do, that's what they do. But I just want you to think about the ramifications of what you're doing before you fall into what everybody else is doing, because it's easy. If you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. And if you're not strong with who you are, you will end up doing the same awful behavior that other people are doing. And I want you to think about that before you get caught in that vicious circle. Okay? So I want to talk to you about sex and relationships. And I'm old school. Okay? I think that a man should court you. I think that he should court you for, a fairly decent amount of time, and then ask your father for your hand in marriage. I'm open-minded too. I'm not stuck in the 1800s, but I definitely appreciate when people had a lot more respect for each other and they didn't have the attitude that they have now. Give me what I want or I'll throw you in the trash. I know we just met, but bye. What? That's weird to me. That's very strange. These romantic interludes, and just because you can meet a lot of people on the internet, like snap, 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 and you could get instant gratification, snap, snap, snap. People are getting to the point, men and women both are getting to the point where you're so used to having what you want that if you don't get it, you throw that person away. That is so weird to me. That's so strange. Just because you got a lot of candy available to you, it doesn't mean you need to grab as much of it as you can. There's ramifications for that. Think about that before you just dive in because everyone is doing it. Think before you do, and don't play with somebody else's emotions, because throwing someone in the trash is the hip thing to do when you're tired of looking at their face. But we'll get to that in a minute. So you have instant gratification. Out of that is born unfair expectation. So you're used to people taking their clothes off 5 minutes after meeting you, and you act like that's normal. And if someone doesn't do that, you catch an attitude. Okay, so let's learn what that is, or how inappropriate that is. Let's talk about how inappropriate that is. You can't expect something from somebody that doesn't belong to you in the first place. Whatever a person their body, it belongs to them. It's not yours. So even though everybody prior to this person has given it to you, like, boom, hi, let's get naked, that doesn't mean everybody owes you that. Okay? Now, if somebody took your car keys and they refuse to give them to you, that's a different story, because those are your car keys. But their body, belongs to them. You have no right and no reason to think that somebody is supposed to give that to you. I don't care if everyone's doing it. It doesn't make it normal. Okay? And if you want to be a freak and you just want to sleep with everybody, you don't care who it is, what species they are, if they're a human being or not, you just want to get your freak on. Make sure you don't commit to people, because that's not fair to people who can commit. They have the maturity level to commit. It's not fair for you to get wrapped up in them because they look hot. So I'm gonna take advantage of you, take everything I can from you, and when I'm done, I'm gonna discard you and go to the next and the next and the next and the next and the next. That's a very, if you think past your body, that's a very empty lifestyle. It's empty. That's not fulfilling. It might feel fulfilling at the time because physically it feels so wonderful. But psychologically, that's empty. That's real empty. I mean, let's take something else that you love and you just love it so much you can't get enough. I love eclairs. Do you think I want eclairs every day, 24 hours a day, or 22 out of the 24 hours a day? You think I want that all the time? I'd be in a hospital with sugar levels that are probably 500 and higher, close to dying, close to a coma, you know, almost comatose. I mean, just because you love it doesn't mean you should do it every single opportunity you get. It's an empty, empty, unfulfilling life that you're causing for yourself. Also, like I said, if you can't commit, don't be somebody's boyfriend or don't be somebody's girlfriend. Do not get engaged. Do not get married, because that's not fair to that person. You're pulling them into freaky deaky world, and they might be in commitment land where what gets them off is love and commitment and having each other's back through thick and thin. If you're not on that page, stop getting married, stop getting engaged, stop having a girlfriend or a boyfriend if you're not prepared for that up here. You can always be prepared sexually. You can just take your clothes off and throw them out the window. But it takes a different maturity level to be ready up here. You see what I'm saying? And I talked about this online before, where people on dating sites, the lies are like never ending. You know, I want to grow old with someone. I'm tired of dating. Um, I don't think people are genuine anymore. I want to travel. I want to do exciting things, and I want someone by my side. I want someone to do those things with. And 9 times out of 10, especially on guy profiles, I don't know about women profiles, but I'm sure they BS too, because everybody online is lying their ass off, okay? Not everybody, but most. Um, I know the guys do that a lot. I mean, their profile sounds like Harlequin romance, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. Just be honest. Just say, I'm a pig. I want to have sex every minute that I'm not at work, or I'm not running errands, or I'm not whatever. I want to be swinging from the rafters, butt ass naked. I'm Tarzan, me Tarzan, you Jane. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be the norm, and people don't want to be honest about that. They want to, like I told a guy friend of mine, I said, guys in particular, and I'll get to women too, guys in particular think that they can sneak up on a woman's body and be in it before she realizes that you're in it. It doesn't work like that, sweetie. We done heard it all. I love you. I want to be with you forever. You know, I'm tired of dating. No one's as sincere as I am. And it's all a bunch of crap. Just be real. Just be real. I'm a pig. I can't commit. That's all you need to tell people. I can't commit to nothing. I can commit to you for 20 minutes. I can commit to you for an hour. I can commit to you for a weekend. Tops. But anything past that, I cannot fulfill those wishes. Be honest. It's not that hard. And as sexually free as everybody is nowadays, it's real easy for you to find somebody who don't want a commitment either. All the more reason why you don't need to BS people to get their clothes off. There's somebody who will freak you right now, today. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't BS people. Just be straight. And stop committing. For the love of God, stop committing. Because you're leaving a trail of broken hearts behind you. And those people are cynical and angry and bitter and distrustful. It may creep into mental illness. We don't know how deep the mental damage goes, the psychological damage goes. If more people would be more honest and more real, we could avoid a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of suicides, a whole lot of depression, a whole lot of hell. Just be real. My God, it's not complicated. Just be real. Now, for all the people that you want to freaky deek, men and women both. Now, I'm not picking on men. I'm talking about everybody. Everybody want to get naked and freak and swing from the ceiling. Okay? When life gets real, and let me explain you something, sweetheart. Life is gonna get real. Okay? People die. There are traumas that happen every minute of every hour of every day. Someone gets paralyzed, someone gets killed, someone has a miscarriage, okay? Someone loses their job, somebody goes home or goes on vacation on an airplane and they come back in a coffin. It happens, and it happens all the time. Now, if trauma happens to you, and there's a possibility that it will, okay? And I should know, I was almost killed in a car accident. That's why my body is the way it is, okay? So I'm just not making this up. I know. And I was this close to not being here anymore. So I know. If you freaky deeked everybody, you just humped your everlasting brains out, and you guys have used each other, men using women and women using men. And in gay situations, y'all using each other and just having all kind of wild sex parties and whatever the hell you're doing. When life gets real, who's going to be by your side? Who's going to be there to hold your hand when the doctor says, I'm sorry, but you have cancer and you have, if you're lucky, about 6 months to live? Who's going to be by your side? All those freaks that you done had? Everybody that you swung, woo, we wild. We just gonna have sex parties and not have a care in the world. Do you honestly think those people are gonna be there to hold your hand in the hospital? They're not. You know why? Because they've gotten what they want from you, and when they can no longer get from you what they want because you're in the hospital, which is very inconvenient for them, they're gone. Gone. to the next person who can give them instant gratification. This is what our society has turned into. This is what our society has morphed into. And you have to think beyond today. You have to think beyond an orgasm. You have to think beyond tomorrow, next week, 6 months from now. You got to think ahead because you never know what life has in store for you. You just don't. There was a famous guy. He's the founder of, oh, I'm relying on my memory. That's a scary thing. He's the founder of Arctic something, North Face. North Face. It's the winter clothing, the fleece, the winter garb. He's at the top of the chain. He is the creator of the company. He was on vacation and he drowned. I don't remember how long ago this was. It wasn't too long ago. Okay? He never anticipated that would happen, and that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Nobody thinks past now. Nobody thinks past tonight. Think. Think. It's not hard. It's not complicated. And when you look at the fact that, and like I said, I'm not going to pick on guys because women, wow. Guys have told me how women can be. They use you for money, although y'all are not rich out there. Not too many guys out there have a house in Malibu, okay, sitting on top of a cliff overlooking the ocean. So you don't have a lot of people don't have a lot of money to be used for. However, some women are using men for the $5 that he does have in his pocket. Um, there really is no point to use anybody for anything. Guys have also told me that women have asked the guy, can you pay my rent? And this is their first date. I'm not kidding, I'm serious. Guys are going to be straight with me because I'm not dating them. So they're going to tell me, oh, this is what I went through. And I'm like, what? She asked you for what? I could not believe what I was hearing. Everybody's approaching everybody else with their hand out. Gimme, 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 gimme. What do you have for me? And men are using women for money and driving her car around while she goes to make the money. She's going to work. He's driving her car around, toting his friends around, and he's to go back home smoking a joint, playing video games. What? I mean, wow. What the hell has our society turned into? And everybody seems to be okay with it because it's, again, instant gratification. I'm going to use you up until you no longer meet my needs, and then you are fired. And what's even worse is when they don't tell you you're fired. You find out because they ghost you. I learned that term from reading an article on the internet. Ghosting. When they're tired of you, poof, gone. No text, no phone call, no concern. Oh well. Wow. Were you raised in a barn? Under a rock? Manners and respect seem to be a way old-fashioned ideology, and I don't know why everybody seems to be okay with that. Until, of course, your world is flipped upside down, and then you're like, holy crap, I don't have anybody. Right, because you used everyone. So now that you need someone, they're like, what? You need, So and so needs me for what? Who's that? See what I'm saying? That sounds like a lot of fun, don't it? No. And when you look at what society has morphed into, instant gratification, freaky deaking, doing drugs, getting drunk, bragging about how wasted you were, and you woke up in your driveway, you have no idea how you got there. This is what you're teaching the new generation. Use people for sex. Use them. You're going to get off, right? Use them. Use them for money. Why not? You know, there are women who are severely independent until they get a man. I don't need nobody to pay my damn bills. I pay my own bills. I pay to get my own hair done. I don't need no man to do nothing for me. And then when she gets a man, baby, can you give me money so I can get my hair done? Whoa, 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 what happened to Miss Independent? So like I said, I'm not picking on guys. Women have their share of stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So when you're doing all this wild behavior with no care in the world, and you're using each other for whatever you can get off on, you're teaching. A lot of y'all got kids. Y'all are teaching your kids, this is how you do, kids. Don't date nobody. Screw them. Have sex with them. Yes. Use them up and toss them out. Good job, boys and girls. Here's a cookie. I mean, you can tell kids all day, don't do what I do what I say do. But they watch everything you do. They are like human sponges. They absorb everything. So you could give them a 10-page speech about no, don't, no, no, no. And they see you doing wildness, they're going to be like, wait a minute, you just told me not to do that. You've been telling me not to do that my whole life, but you could do it? Think. Think past 5 minutes from now. Think about, let's talk about enrichment, okay? How your life can be enriched when you do the right thing, okay? You date when you're ready for a commitment, not just want to get laid, okay? You're dating because you really want to get to know people. You really want to connect. You're not lying on the internet. You're not, and I ran across this too, okay? Uh, I don't know about women, but, well, I know women have done it too. Guys have told me that women have done it too. People will ask you out. Guys are notorious for this, especially online, so women, watch out. Be careful. Guys will ask you out to feed their ego. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And the minute you say yes, they ghost you. They disappear. They just needed an ego stroke. They just needed to know that you find them attractive. That's all they needed. Sayonara freaking nar, baby. Right. And everything that you do will come back to you. That's why I love karma, because karma's going to kick you in your ass, and it's going to be wonderful. And you're going to be crying the blues, crying harder and louder than everyone else, and no one's going to listen to you because you done used up everybody and pissed off everybody, and they're done, and they're done, and they're freaking done. Okay? I knew somebody. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's the president of the Narcissist Club, and I know a lot of members. A lot of members. The world, they think the world is lucky just because they're in it. Anyway, when you first listen to the story that he tells, you're like, wow, what a terrible person she is. Okay? Because he had a friend, female friend, that he'd known for many, many years. Well, he ends up with a tumor in his brain, and he had to have emergency surgery by the time they found out and all this business. Now, mind you, he had a real long history with her. He's known her for many, many, many years, okay? So when he was in the hospital after he had surgery, I don't know what the hell he did. I don't know what he said, but she was done. Our friendship is over. I'm ghosting you. Figure it the hell out. I'm done. And she had a party at her house and invited all of his friends, but not him. Boys and girls, the word for today is karma. Now, hear him tell it, which is a load of bullshit. But hear him tell it, we were friends all our lives, and I can't believe she would drop me when I was having surgery at the hospital. She quit being my friend. Tell the whole story, fool. Tell the part that you were narcissistic and self-absorbed, and you got worse and worse and worse and worse. And she finally said, I don't care if you're in a hospital or not, we are done. So initially when he told me, I was like thinking to myself, wow, how messed up of a person can you be to sever a friendship when somebody's in a hospital? They don't know if they're going to die or not. They don't know. And you cut them off. Wow, that takes cold to a whole new level. But then when I started to see how narcissistic he was and how all he cared about was himself, and he's the type of person that, you know, I don't know, he saw somebody who fell and they busted open their knee or something, and he happened to be near you when you fell, his first reaction would be, I hope you don't get blood on my brand new sneakers. Shoot, I paid $200 for these suckers, $300 now. All he cares about is himself. So yes, people are gonna get tired of you. It doesn't matter if you're dying. It doesn't matter if you had surgery. It doesn't matter if you're crying the blues. People are gonna get tired of you. And when they get tired, you're fired. That's the way it works. So, I don't know. I just want you to think about what you're doing. And contrary to popular belief, because narcissism seems to be, wow, it seems to be so prevalent in our society that it seems like it's almost the norm, and that's frightening. That's really scary. This is the world that you're raising your kids in, those of you who have kids. This is the world you're raising your children in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to be responsible for somebody who had a meltdown because of me. Somebody committed suicide because of what I did to them. Don't get me wrong, I understand that suicide can happen with or without you. All it takes is one more situation, or somebody said the wrong thing, or another crisis, and the person said, that's it, this is the grand finale, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm done. So you can't really prevent that. But I don't want the last experience that someone had, something I did to them, which catapults them to feel like, that's the last straw, I'm offing myself tonight. And I'm freezing, so bear with me. I don't want to be responsible for that. I know that that's not, caring about other people's old fashioned, but let's go back to that, because that's the proper way to live. That's the proper thing to do. To care about other okay? To care about them, to love them, to nurture them, to not give up on them because I've been looking at your face for 25 years and I'm tired of looking at it. Well, then don't commit to somebody because you're going to commit. It's not a temporary thing unless it's a fling. So if you're the type to get bored after, I don't know, 6 months to a year to 5 years to 25 years, stop committing. It's just that simple. It's not complicated and it's not rocket science. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Let's go back to old fashioned. Let's go back to respect. Let's go back to manners. Let's go back to holding the door open for someone when you go through it. You go to the mall, you open the door for the person. Hello, say thank you. Grab the door and say thank you. Okay? Because nobody owes you anything. And they don't have to hold the door open for you. They don't. If they were raised right, they will. But don't act like the world owes you and stick your nose up in the air when they open the door for you. You're like, oh, what? Who do you think you are? Nobody owes you nothing except a smack in the head. That's probably it. Because you done pissed off somebody. I know I pissed off people, but hey, what can I do? I apologize. My bad. But on a serious note, though, I want you to think for yourself. I want you to not do what everyone else is doing just because they're doing it. Use your own brain, use your own mind, do what you think is right. And if your sex drive's so high that you have to always be on the prowl for someone to lay, go to a psychiatrist because that's not normal behavior. It's not. You could go paragliding, you could go deep sea diving, you could go, I don't know, jump out of an airplane. You could put your clothes on and have a good time. I know that just sounds like a ridiculous concept, but you can actually have a good time with your clothes on. Stop using other people for your sexual playground. It's disgusting. HIV is no joke. AIDS is no joke. Zika is sexually transmitted. It's no joke. People are dying. So for that instant high, there's a price. Do you want to pay that price? Think about it. And your life will get real. And real things do happen. And tragic things do happen. And when you pissed off everybody you will be facing those problems by yourself. Now, if that's what you want to sign up for, go for it. But don't complain when you're dealing with your life by yourself because you put yourself in that situation. Now, for people who don't use other people who do have manners, people who do have respect, people who actually have the ability to love with every fiber of their being, thank you. Because you are a rare gem in today's world. Now, for people who are copycats and they're doing what everybody else is doing, the good news is you can stop that anytime you want to. Anytime you're ready for a positive change, it can happen. So you're not a lost cause because you're doing craziness. You can always fix that anytime you want to. Okay? So that's my message for today. And Do not use your phone while you're driving, please. Stop doing that. Oh, that drives me insane when I see people doing that. Drives me crazy. Stop doing it. Put your phone under the seat. I don't care where you put your phone. Throw it in the back seat. Throw it in the trunk. I don't care where you put it. Stop messing with it while you're driving. That text message could be the difference between life or death. Now, if you're willing to die for a text message, well, I guess, whatever. But the way it usually works, you'll be text messaging and you'll kill someone else who wasn't text messaging. That's usually how it works. Person who's doing the wrong thing survives and they kill innocent people. So be more responsible and be safe. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Take care.